What's going down, y'all? So this is Jay from Good Hare by Couture, and I'm doing an interview right now with Kadine Cooper.
Hello.
And we're just gonna find out a little bit about what she's up to, and who she is, and who she is through 2020. All right. So I guess Kadine, we were speaking already.
Yeah.
And you started to get in detail about some stuff, and I just wanted to share it with the camera, so with the people. So first of all, introduce yourself, please.
So my name is Kadine Cooper. I'm an ex-HR professional with 16 years specializing in talent acquisition, and last year decided to start my own career transition business. So full-time career transition coach.
Full-time career transition coach.
Yeah.
Okay. So for someone who may not understand, what is it? What's a transition coach?
Okay. So a coach can mean many different things. A coach can change your life. I wish I had discovered coaching a lot sooner than I did for my own personal self. So I've been coaching people softly, like to coach people. But for me, myself, to invest in myself to be coached, never even knew or considered that would be a thing until last year. When I think about 2-3 years ago, I was going through my own kind of personal development journey where, we're a West Indian background, when you're told, go to school, get a good education, get a good job, do all those things, make 6 figures or more. And I got there, Vince, and I was just like, this is it. I didn't feel fulfilled anymore. I didn't feel happy, and I have a real eclectic background. I mean, I studied fashion merchandising. I thought I wanted to be a buyer and a designer. And then I went into school for HR because I was in market research for 10 years. Due to downsizing and restructuring, I went back to school for HR because I really was passionate about career development and progression, because I never had certain opportunities. So I wanted to be a part of seeing other people succeed and be successful. So to go back to your question about what is a coach is whatever you really want it to be. For me, I use a very holistic approach. I believe in meeting someone where they're at. So because of my HR background, I leverage that experience that I have and that knowledge and insight to share with people. So it could be your resume, it could be your personal brand, it could be career action plan maybe that you need. Maybe you want to fall back in love with your job or transition into something totally different.
Okay.
So I help individuals through that process. But the beginning piece of it is peeling back layers and unpacking whatever challenges you're facing, because until you do that, you cannot move forward, because those things will always come up. Right? So I can meet you where you are right now and figure out, okay, you just want to move from point A to point B. Okay, so we'll just do your resume, we'll just do your LinkedIn profile. But 9 times out of 10, you come back because you're like, something is unsettled within you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the holistic approach comes in, and really kind of figuring out, what are your values? What are your motivators? What are your demotivators? Like, where do you really want to see yourself? Do you just want a job? Well, you can go to Walmart, you can go to Tim Hortons, anybody can get a job. But do you want a career or something that's going to be fulfilling for you in your life? Those are the types of people that I want to work with.
Okay. I sometimes feel like I need coaching, right? But I don't know. Like, for instance, what you do as a coach, and I'm a barber. How could that possibly intertwine?
Easily. So are you, okay, in your current, you're an entrepreneur, you're doing your thing now, but are you happy?
Okay, yeah.
You're happy?
Yeah.
Every day you come in, you're pumped, you're excited, you're like, this lights your fire up every single day?
Not every single day, because I know that there's more.
Right, so it's figuring out what is the more. Because there is no ceiling, right? There's no door that's locking you in here and saying, this is it for you. You could open another franchise, you could go globally if you wanted with Couture, do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's helping you to figure out, okay, beyond these 4 walls, beyond where you currently are right now, where do you want to go? And finding the right strategic moves or strategy or action plans to put in place for you. So things that you wouldn't see. So coaches there also to see your blind spots.
Gotcha.
And to open you up and to ask you questions. So we all have the answer within us, right? But my role is just to ask you questions to make you think. Ask you questions to make you ponder and think, I never thought of that, or maybe I can do that. It's to encourage you. It's like that personal cheerleader or motivator, right? And somebody to call you out when you need to. I have my own coach as well. And I'll tell you, in November, December, I got cold feet. And I walked away from my job and I was like, got another offer because I'm like, I have a family, I've got responsibilities. What am I doing? You know, what am I really doing? And I called him. I remember he was in Texas at a conference, and I'm like all excited, and I'm like, oh my God, Edwin, I think I'm gonna accept this position, you know, because nothing's happening for me with this coaching thing, and so maybe I'll do this part-time. And he listened to me for a while, and he's like, okay, all right. And he goes, are you open to feedback? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You know me, you're cool, we could talk, whatever. And he goes, I'm gonna call your bullshit right now. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, that's not what we've been discussing. He goes, you can do it, you can take the job. I can't tell you not to, because I know you have a family, I know you have responsibilities. He goes, but guaranteed 2-3 months from now, you'll be right back here saying, Edwin, I'm not happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling fulfilled. I'm feeling stuck. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. And he's like, so what are you gonna do? And I said, let me think about it. I didn't even think about it 24 hours before I was like, you know what? I called and I said, I'm gonna have to decline your offer, but thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Best thing I ever did. I'm here now still, a year doing my own thing on my own terms, working with people that I want to work with.
Right.
And investing in people. Because in the corporate world, the other thing that I found too was it's so political and it's so structured. Like, you're not a box, you're not a triangle, you're not a square, you're a human being. And you're just an employee number to them, right? So once they've invited you into the organization, you signed your offer letter, you're theirs to do what they want you to do, when you want to do it, how they want you to do
How you want
it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And for me, it was like, you know, you always think, yeah, not that I was a yes man, but yeah, you know, I needed a job and I had a family to support, and so yeah, I would go along with a lot of things, even when it didn't sit right. But I don't know if it's getting older and wiser or just getting more comfortable within myself that I'm like, you know what, this is no longer serving me.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's you as a person or you as an organization, this is no longer serving me. So I'm out.
That's wow. That's it's brave. It's brave. It's
That's what a lot of people have said.
no. It's brave. A little bit of I don't know if like a little bit of crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you need a little bit of crazy to kind of
Yeah.
get to that next plateau.
You know what the thing is too. I think it's just taking a chance, and I'm not a risk taker. That's the other piece too. And I tell people that, they're like, "You're not a risk taker, but you quit your job
Mm-hmm.
without having a backup job." And that's something too that I coach on. Don't leave something until you have something else to back up. But again, I do the opposite,
Mm-hmm.
right? But no, brave, yes. A little crazy, yeah. But my mental health, my happiness, my joy became more important to me than a piece of paper or a check.
So do you think that you say that you coach, don't leave something until you have something else to fall back on? Do you think that when you left what it is that you had, your ambition and your goal and your desire for your aspiration was the thing that you had to fall back on?
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not like don't leave this job unless you have another job to fall back on. It's like you were planning to create something, so there's nothing you could fall back on until you create it.
That's right. But I had to walk away from that in order for that door to open, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I never thought about doing it like a solopreneur, an entrepreneur on my own. I thought about working for someone else, again, as a coach, as an outplacement coach, right? I never thought about my own, right? That never crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But a year later, I'm still doing it on my own, and I'm like, wow, I wish that I had listened to myself or just followed my instinct for myself to do this for myself years ago. But you know, they say nothing happens before it's time, so.
Okay, so years ago, was that in you? Or was it something that just like recently manifested and you?
Recently manifested, yes, but when I say years ago, knowing that I no longer wanted to do the HR role that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I had outgrown that role. What else I wanted to do at that point? I knew I'd always have to do something with people. Inspiring people, mentoring people, guiding people. I knew that that's what I wanted to do, but in what capacity,
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't know.
And your HR history, does it work in unison with what is it you do now?
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's why I wanted to leverage that, because after 16 years of being in it, I didn't want to completely walk away from it. I wanted to make sure that it was incorporated, because it would be a shame for me not to share the knowledge and the insights that I have to help job seekers now. If you're in the job market, how can I help you? Right? So it's sharing my knowledge on networking, the hidden job market, how to present yourself in an interview setting, right?
Right.
Career networking, job search strategies, your branding, they say elevator pitch, but your branding message, right? How do you, so if you were to, if I was to ask you, if we were at an event, and you were introducing yourself, who are you? What do you do?
My name's Jay, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a owner of a barbershop, owner and operator of a barbershop.
Right. So does it feel comfortable? Does it feel confident with you saying that?
It doesn't.
Why? Because that's who you are. That's what you do.
It's what I do, but it's not kind of who I am. I feel, I feel like I'm operating a barbershop, but I feel like there's much more.
There's more. See,
there's
that's the much more that as a coach we are able to unpack. So if you ask me what I do, I said my name is Kadine Cooper. I'm a career transition coach. I help professional executives to build their career brand so they can land the dream job they love and earn the compensation that they deserve. And then if we're still talking, then I can tell you how I do that.
Yeah.
But I'm comfortable where I am right now, and that's why that can flow so easily for me, and practice, right? But for you, because there's still something inside of you where you're like, I'm good now, but I want to see myself great. I want to see myself here, or doing more than. That's why you're kind of, yeah, I see myself as this, but there's that but. There's no but for me anymore.
Got you.
Right? There's no but, because I feel like, not because I want to go global too, I want to go national, but doing what I'm doing. Because I also speak as well. So I want to be able to share my story and my message and have others do the same. So if I was to be coaching you and working with you, that's what we'd be unpacking. What is the but, Fitz?
Right.
What are the next steps? Is it opening another store? Is it a clothing line? Is it a hair product line? Like, what is it? What is that next thing for you? It's getting that out.
And then once I get that out and know it, then I live it.
Right? And isn't that amazing? Wouldn't that feel so amazing?
Yeah,
though?
for sure.
Yeah.
Like listening to you say who you are was super inspiring just a while ago.
And that's something that's fairly new. But I'm owning it now. That's just been within the last year that I could say that so comfortably and so confidently. But that's what I want for everybody.
Right.
We only have this one life to live. Do you be you, but be transparent and be authentic to who you are, because nobody's holding you back but you right now. Nobody was holding me back but me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now you have me wanting to check up on me. Because I do that. It's accountability, right? So in January, February, I might reach out to you like, so Fitz, that but. What are we doing about that but?
Right.
What are we doing about that?
Right. If January, February comes around and I don't have an answer for that, then I'm not taking the opportunity that was presented right here to let me know that there's something that I need to.
There's something that you need to do. There's something that's stirring inside of you. Who knows what it is? But that's through assessments and coaching. So I ask a lot of deep questions. Like if we weren't on camera, I'd probably go a little bit deeper with you and ask you certain questions that you may not have the answer for right now, but you'll leave here and be thinking about it. And journaling. I don't know if you journal or if that's a woman thing, but
no, it's actually something that I've been saying that I want to get started.
Do it. I guarantee you'll surprise yourself with how much comes out. And you can go back and look at it. And it's a piece of paper. If you don't want it shared or reviewed, you rip it up and you throw it away. But I do a couple things. So I journal 3 things that I'm grateful for, 3 things that would make today awesome, and then who I am. So I am grateful, I am powerful, I am courageous, I am brave. And then I go back at the end of the day and I'm like, okay, what would have made today better? Or what was amazing that happened today? To kind of reflect over the day. And I do that every day. It takes you 5 minutes, if even that.
That's effective and valuable.
So far, yeah. Not every day is, bells and whistles, but for the most part, I would say, yeah, it just puts things into perspective for you. And even as I was driving here, I was thinking about our conversation and thinking about what you might ask me. How did 2020 impact me, good or bad? And I was just like, just reflecting on my drive over here. What did this year do for me or not do for me? Because I think everybody came into this year like 2020 vision, man, this is my year. I'm going to be on cloud 9. And then we got to February and was like, okay, are we going to be here for a day, a month, a week? 9 months later, we're still here. But what have you done with this time that you've been gifted? Because if anybody slept on this time, wow, what a waste. To have not used this to go introspective and deep within yourself or figure out that but, right? What next? Because this too shall pass, right? So if you weren't upgrading your skills or reading or listening to podcasts or things that are gonna like elevate you, wow, such a waste.
Yeah, I mean, over that time, you know, there was a lot of self-development that was happening on my end. And like you said, like there was a lot of listening to podcasts. I created a book club that it was part of the Good Hare community that I have.
Yeah.
Created a book club where at the end of every month, you know, there was a book that we read and we'd meet up on Zoom.
Cool.
Right, and it was just something to kind of break the monotony of what
Yeah.
had possibly been happening for some people, because you know everybody watched all the Netflix shows. You know, they seen everything on YouTube. They watched all the Instagram posts of whatever, all the vibes that was happening. Everybody's seen everything.
Yeah.
It's like if you're interested in breaking up the monotony of what it is that you're doing, because we've run out of everything to do.
Exactly.
Created a book club, and you know, some people got involved, and I mean, it got me to a place of it's not something I've ever done before.
But knowledge is key, right? And for example, like sidebar kind of conversation, but I don't notice you doing it here, but I've gone into places, you know, they're doing a temperature check, for example, and automatically that's a temperature check. And then until I got a video sent to me where you can check your temperature on your wrist,
right.
and actually it's apparently more
safer.
Well, it's safer, yes, and it's more effective as well.
Oh, okay.
So now, anytime I go anywhere, and they're like, and I'm like, no, you can check it here. Why? Because now I know better. Right? Now I know better. And now I'm trying to educate others on the same thing. Right. And I've shared it with so many people, and they're like, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, but now that you know, you're not going to let anybody walk up to you like this anymore, right?
Yeah,
you're going to stop it.
Right.
So.
Right. This is the metaphor for life, really. And when you know, you can stop the nonsense.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
What's next for me? Wow. So many things. Right now I'm working on a program for women that I want to launch. I'm a huge mental health advocate, so I'm working on a program for women who are either returning back to work, who are suffering from anxiety, depression, like postpartum.
Okay.
To help them to kind of navigate through that. So I'm working and collaborating with a couple other different individuals, so that's going to be coming up probably in February. Other than that, just continuing to build my brand in this space and continuing to speak on different things that I'm passionate about. So yeah, I'm just excited for the future. I mean, I think like everybody else, the year started out and I was kind of one of those people too, where I was like, you know, on cloud nine. And I had my roller coaster moments, you know, I'm not gonna lie, but we can see, we can hear, we can talk. We woke up this morning, there's so many things that we can still be grateful for. So just trying to sit with those feelings, those good feelings, and not so much, you know, the wondering about what if and what's to come. So yeah, I'm excited about 2021. I mean, it's gonna look a lot different. I think we're gonna be here for a while, but what are you doing with this time? You know, while we're here, how are you pivoting and changing? So that's, you know, I'm shifting, I'm pivoting, I'm figuring things out, I'm networking like crazy, I'm a big connector.
Right.
So yeah, just kind of seeing, right now, just being fluid, wherever the wind kind of takes me.
Right.
And I think it's the best way to be right now because we don't know how things are going to be. So if we're rigid and too structured, you're setting yourself up for more disappointment and more, you know, hopelessness if things aren't going to go your way. But just be open, just be flexible, right?
Yeah, I've kind of learned that even quite recently, that nothing is guaranteed, right? And I know that we plan and prepare, and I've come to say that we do it just to kind of stack the cards in our favor. But there's no saying that it's gonna go the way that that we plan it to go. Right? We're just trying to have the advantage.
Exactly.
Right?
Like control what you can control. Right? Just control what you can control.
Right.
There's so many of the things that are out of our control, but we're trying to contain it and trying to. We can't. And if we spend all our time doing that, we're missing out on some of the other things. The other thing that I've learned too is to be still, be present. And I'm practicing a lot of mindfulness too, which is been foreign to me, but
Sure.
just simple act
Where
of
would you-
just simple act of washing my hands, eating and tasting food, sitting and just thinking about nothing, just sitting here and just being present. Looking around as I was sitting here waiting for us to start, I'm looking at the pictures and I'm thinking, why did you choose these pictures? Oh, I like this black and white, but I'm being present. I'm here. I'm not thinking about my kids at home or my drive back. You know, I'm thinking about where I am right now. You know, feeling this chair that I'm sitting on. You know, just looking around at the ambiance and the space that I'm in. Whereas before, not so much. I would have been thinking, my mind would be constantly racing and thinking about other things. But now I'm trying to be like, okay, where am I right now? I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you. I shouldn't be thinking about anything else.
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. Just kind of enjoy where you are. Think about where you are.
Yeah. Everything else will take care of itself. Like, you can't control what's going on at home. You know? You can't control what's going to happen tomorrow. And the past is the past, so let's leave it there, right? We learn from it and we move on. Keep it moving.
Well, I appreciate you for this talk.
I appreciate you for inviting me for this talk.
This is amazing. Like, I know that when you brought your son to get his haircut the other day, you got started the talking, and I was like, man, the world needs to hear this.
Thank you so much.
The world needs to hear you, and I appreciate you for even making the time to come back and have this little chat with me.
No, you know what? And I would do it again because I think there's so much. We need to just love on each other and spread joy and positivity. There's so much negativity out there, right? But just show up for each other, share space, and talk. Real, authentic conversations too, right? None of this faking, masking stuff. Like, just be you. I learned something too, though, Cheryl, and I'll leave it with that, is SW. Some will, some won't, so what? Because we're not for everybody, right? We're not for everybody. So some people will be for you, and cool. Some people maybe not so much, and that's cool too. And so what? They're not for you, they're not for you. If they're for you, they're for you. It's all good. No matter what, it's all good.
SW.
Yeah.
Some will, some won't, so what? Jeez. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is, so I have two. So professional, it's careercoach_K. And then privately, it's just Kadine, Kadine 13.
So careercoach_K.
K. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so check me out. I'm always happy having conversation. Talk is free, right? Conversations are free. So, and I'm happy to share my knowledge and insights. Anything that I have, or if I can connect you with somebody, then just like if anybody wants to reach out, I'm happy to introduce you to, or just to have a conversation.
So careercoach_K at Instagram. We got Coach Kadine. Amazing conversation. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Get in touch with her. Elevate your life. All right.
Awesome.
So, thank you again.
My pleasure.
And Good Hair community. See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kadine. I appreciate you for that.
Awesome. That was cool.
You made it easy.
Yeah?
Hell yeah.
Really? Oh, good. You know, I'm just big on energy too, so I feed off of your energy. So you made it good. You made it easy.